In 2009, Air France Flight 447 vanished over the Atlantic Ocean. For days, no trace was found. Then, investigators retrieved the aircraft black boxes, and within their data lay the secrets of what went wrong in those final terrifying moments. But what exactly do these black boxes tell us? And how do they reveal the hidden story of an aircraft's last flight? What is a black box, really? Despite the name, a black box isn't black, it's actually bright orange to make it easier to spot in wreckage. Inside is a high-tech time capsule containing two critical components. Flight Data Recorder, FDR. This logs everything from speed, altitude, engine performance to control inputs. Essentially, it's the aircraft's memory. Cockpit Voice Recorder, CVR. This captures the last voices in the cockpit, background noises, and alarms. Think of it as the plane's diary of events. These devices are designed to survive crashes that would destroy the plane itself, enduring fire, impact, and deep-sea pressures. How black boxes change aviation safety. Before black boxes, accident investigations were often guesswork. Pilots' logs or passenger accounts were all investigators had. But after black boxes became mandatory in the 1960s and 70s, aviation safety transformed. Example 1. In 1977, the Tenerife airport disaster killed 583 people. Analysis of black box recordings revealed critical miscommunications and procedural errors. Since then, protocols for cockpit communication, known as crew resource management, have saved countless lives. Example 2. In 1985, Delta Flight 191 crashed due to a microburst of sudden wind shear. Black box data helped meteorologists understand wind shear patterns, leading to improved airport safety systems across the U.S. Point 3. What do investigators listen for? Every sound, every beep, every engine fluctuation is analyzed. Investigators look for 1. Pilot commands and responses to warnings. 2. Mechanical anomalies before failure. 3. Environmental conditions like turbulence or bird strikes. For subtle cockpit sound that hint at stress or confusion. Sometimes, the CVR reveals not just facts, but the human side of crises: fear, quick thinking, and split-second decisions. Point 4. How the data is analyzed. Black boxes don't speak in plain English. They produce thousands of lines of raw data. Investigators use specialized software to reconstruct. 1. Flight paths in 3D. 2. Engine and system performance. 3. Timing of alarms and cockpit interactions. This reconstruction allows them to replay the flight from start to finish, often down to the exact second. Example: after the Colgan Air Flight 3407 crash in 2009, black box data revealed fatigue and improper training as factors leading to stricter pilot rest regulations across U.S. airlines. Point 5. Limitations and misconceptions. Contrary to popular belief, black boxes don't tell you everything. They don't record video, GPS coordinates, or external views. And while they can survive most accidents, extreme impacts or long periods underwater can sometimes damage data. Despite this, their survival rate is remarkably high. Over decades, black boxes have unlocked answers to crashes once considered unsolvable. Point 6. The future of flight recording. Technology is evolving. Today, new systems are being tested. 1. Real-time data streaming to ground stations, reducing the risk of lost recordings. 2. Enhanced sensors capturing even more parameters. 3. AI-assisted analysis for faster accident reconstruction. The goal: prevent tragedies before they occur by learning from every incident. To understand just how critical black boxes are, we have to return to the story of Air France Flight 447, the flight that disappeared into the night, sparking one of the most challenging aviation investigations in history. Case example: Air France Flight 447. On June 1st, 2009, shortly after midnight, an Airbus A330 departed Rio de Janeiro en route to Paris. Somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, in an area known for powerful thunderstorms and no radar coverage, the aircraft encountered a series of complex technical and environmental issues. When communication was lost, there were no eyewitnesses, no distress calls, no survivors. For 2 years, the ocean offered silence. Then, deep-sea search teams located the wreckage, and with it, the black boxes. What the recordings revealed was a chain of events triggered by ice crystals blocking airspeed sensors. Conflicting alarms and confusing instrument readings left the pilots without clear situational awareness. Their reactions, understandable in the chaos, led the aircraft into an aerodynamic stall. It wasn't a single failure. It was human factors, system design, weather, and training, a complex tragedy. And without the black box, we might never have known why this matters, and for every passenger today. Every time you step onto a plane, every time those doors close and the engines roar, you're benefiting from decades of lessons learned through black box analysis. The truth is, aviation is one of the safest forms of travel, not because accidents never happen, but because every accident is studied until we learn everything we possibly can from it. Crew resource management, and born from tragedy. Before the 1970s, cockpits were dominated by hierarchy. The captain's authority was absolute. First officers rarely challenged decisions, even in moments of doubt. The Tenerife disaster, the deadliest aviation accident in history, changed everything. Black box analysis exposed crucial communication breakdowns and assumptions. The result was crew resource management, a system that encourages 1. Open communication, 2. Shared decision-making, 3. Assertiveness without disrespect. For situational awareness across the whole crew, this single shift has saved thousands of lives, and it was made possible because the cockpit voice recorder told the world exactly what went wrong. Inside the investigation process, when a black box is recovered, the real challenge begins. The data doesn't just explain what happened. Investigators must figure out why it happened. Step 1. Audio forensics. Expert study. Voice tone for stress or calm. Background clicks that indicate switch movements. Warning alarms layered beneath conversation. Even silence, because silence can speak volumes. Step 2. Data synchronization. The flight data recorder logs hundreds to thousands of parameters every second, a living stream of mechanical information. Investigators align these with cockpit audio to form a second-by-second timeline. The moment a pilot noticed a warning light, the exact second an engine failed, how quickly the crew responded, whether they followed emergency procedure or improvised. Step 3. Simulation. If needed, engineers recreate the entire flight in a simulator. They sit pilots in the same situation and observe their decisions to determine whether actions were understandable or training needs improvement. This step often shapes future pilot training requirements worldwide. But the black box isn't magic. Despite their durability, black boxes can still be damaged if exposed to years underwater, catastrophic impacts beyond survivable thresholds, or intense post-crash fires. Data may be incomplete. This is why researchers are pushing for real-time streaming flight data system where crucial parameters are sent to ground control during flight, meaning the story can't be lost at the bottom of the sea. Aviation's future. Smarter, faster, safer. Modern aircraft generate terabytes of operational data, far more than black boxes alone can store. Airlines are increasingly using 1. Predictive maintenance sensors, 2. AI anomaly detection, 3. Satellite-based tracking. For automated pilot assistance systems, these technologies aim not only to solve accidents but to prevent them. Example: real-time engine monitoring can detect vibrations that indicate a part wearing down, sometimes weeks before failure. The plane can be scheduled for maintenance before an emergency ever arises. The human element, the most important piece. But even as technology advances, aviation remains deeply human. The decisions pilots make, the ways teams communicate, the pressures of weather, fatigue, time, and stress. These are challenges no sensor can fully replace. And that's why the cockpit voice recorder will always matter. It is the only device that captures the human story. Not just data, not just numbers, but voices, people, experience, courage. The black box is more than a tool of investigation. It's the final witness, a guardian of lessons, a storyteller of truth. From the tragedies that break us to the innovations that protect us, aviation safety evolves because we choose to learn not to look away. The skies today are safer than at any point in history, and every flight that lands safely owes something in some small way to the voices and data preserved in those unassuming, bright orange boxes. because every flight has a story, and the black box ensures it is never forgotten.